So, you've spent hundreds of hours into Phasmophobia and you are desperately waiting for the new patch? Maybe the Mortuary Assistant is a great game to play, while waiting for the new Phasmophobia content to arrive. The story is set in 1998 in the US, in Milford, a small city in Connecticut. The game starts with a neat cutscene introducing the main protagonist Rebecca, having a conversation with her grandma. Rebecca finished her studies in a medical field and is about to take her first real job in the local mortuary called Riverfields Mortuary. It seems there were some inexplicable incidents happening in this place before, because her grandma reacts in a very unsettling way. The whole cutscene ends with her grandma forwarding Rebecca a religious necklace, which for some reason she hesitates to take. A short and great introduction into the game, leaving you excited and wondering for what's coming next. By the way, interestingly, there's a real mortuary in Milford called Riverview Funeral Home, which from the outside looks very much alike as the in-game one. I wonder if the owner knows that there's a game based off his mortuary business. Anyway, let's continue. Thank you very much for watching this video. There goes a lot of work into making these, and right now I'm stuck at a pretty unlucky number, so maybe you want to help me out and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. When you enter the mortuary the first time, you immediately notice all those religious items everywhere. I've never been to a real mortuary, but as soon as you enter this place you know there's something off. Also, there's this super creepy picture hanging at the wall. Everything is just a bit suspicious.
Rebecca, great, perfect timing.
Next up you meet your boss, Mr. Delver, who guides you through preparing and embalming your first body. This is where you learn the basic game mechanics. When examining a new body, you are looking for any distinguishing marks. This, for example, could be scratches or contusions. Then you enter your observations into the computer and print out the embalming report. And then the real fun begins. It's time for the embalming process. The embalming process is a big part of the gameplay, and it's really what differentiates this game from any other spooky game out there. For each body you have to go through the checklist on your clipboard. For the whole process of preparing the body you have to use different medical tools, like the fun needle injector or the stomach trocar. When you see this stuff for the first time, you feel a mix of disgust but also curiosity. At least that's how I felt. Maybe I'm just a bit different. Not that this is a career I want to pursue in real life, but still, it's very interesting to get a very basic understanding of the modern embalming process. And this game gives you a unique look behind the curtains.
Alright.
Put yourself in Rebecca's shoes. It's your first real job after many years of studying, and of course you are very nervous because your new boss watches you on every step. And the fact that you are working on dead bodies doesn't make this situation any less draining. But still, something makes you feel very unpleasant inside this place. Medical containers drop to the floor, windows shut down out of nowhere, and you could swear that for a split second out of the corner of your eyes you've seen a black shade walking near the cold storages. And then this happens.
Tell you what.
What?
Why don't you go ahead and head out? I'll take over from here.
Are you sure? I just got here.
Don't worry. You're doing great. I'll get the last of your paperwork sorted today and call you in for your first shift.
You leave the mortuary confused and disappointed. A distinct feeling is induced on you, like something or someone feeds off your negative emotions.
Hello?
Hey, Rebecca. It's Raymond.
Oh, hi, Mr. Delver.
Some hours later, back at home in the late evening, Rebecca gets a surprising phone call from Mr. Delver. The mortuary just got 3 new bodies which need to be examined and embalmed, and he wants you to come in for this night shift. Still surprised but very happy for this opportunity, you agree and make your way back to the mortuary. In the middle of the night at 12 AM, maybe not the best idea.
Alright, guess I'll head to the back and get started.
After entering the Witherfields mortuary, you hear a sudden noise coming from the front door, like someone locked you inside. Then you get a phone call from Mr. Delver, and obviously Rebecca is freaked out about the whole situation.
I need help. Someone's outside the mortuary.
Just try to stay calm. I know you're scared.
It seems like Mr. Delver locked you inside the mortuary. He's talking about possession and that some entity seems to be bound to you. For your sake and everyone else, he can't let you leave. You really don't know what that means, but of course you are very scared and confused. He's saying all you should focus on is doing the job. Examine the bodies, file the reports, and then start with the embalming process. The important thing is to stay focused. So you enter the embalming room.
Does something like this.
Inside the embalming room, you are presented with bright, little globes flying all over the place. For you Phasmophobia ghost investigators, you know that this means nothing good. You get another phone call from Mr. Delver, but this time he's way more specific about what's going on.
Funny.
Rebecca, you don't have to believe me, but I hope you do before it's too late.
In order to avoid possession, he wants you to figure out the name of the demon. Find out which body is possessed, embalm the body with a special religious fluid, and then burn it in the incinerator to banish the demon. This is pretty much the main goal of the game if you want to live yet another day. To help you out, Mr. Delver left you 3 cassette tapes which provide you with some further instructions. At this point I won't tell you anything more about how to survive the night shift. I want you to find this out on your own. This is what makes this game so fun. Luckily there's another folder on the computer called Night Shift which got some more useful information. Perhaps you should take a look at it. Especially when you are a big ghost nerd like me, this should be some very interesting stuff. Now the game's hand-holding stops and it's investigation time. You are pretty much on your own. To be honest, on my first playthrough I really had no idea what I was doing, and well, it didn't really end nicely for me. But this is how the game is meant to be played. It wants you to go through several night shifts, which leads me to replayability. If you take your time, the introduction and your first night shift should take you between 2 and 3 hours. But the cool thing about this game is that you can get different endings, and there are also some special secrets which are waiting for you to be discovered. So you can and should do several night shifts to get the most out of this game. Don't forget, every playthrough is different, so you never know exactly what to expect. Also, I highly recommend playing this game alone in a dark room with lights off, at night, wearing headphones. Try to become immersed into the game. I see way too many people on Twitch playing this game during the day in a bright room with sub and follow alerts blaring into their ears, and then saying that it's not a scary game. This is not how you should play the game. On my first playthrough I also played this game on stream, but I really had much more fun when I played it by myself off stream. So I highly recommend to immerse yourself and just enjoy. So should you buy this game? The game cost me about 20 euros or $20, and for me it was definitely worth it. If you like Phasmophobia and like to figure out things without too much handholding, I highly recommend this game. It's very unique and I love the idea of combining the very unsettling job of a mortuary assistant with the possession of demons. It's very unique and I don't know anything comparable. It wasn't the scariest game I've ever played, but it was definitely an immersive experience. I had a lot of fun figuring out the name of the demon and felt very satisfied when I've put this unholy entity into the incinerator. If you enjoy games like Phasmophobia or movies like The Exorcist, I can 100% recommend this game. It's full of references to well-known stories of ghosts and possessions. The game has some replayability, just don't expect putting in hundreds of hours like you do in Phasmophobia. The Mortuary Assistant got a very promising formula, and I really hope that the developers provide us with some more content updates, or even a sequel to this game. I'm down for some more night shifts, maybe even in another job.